This is a site where something devilish once took place. It's sitting still now, silent in a small town like any other. It could be yours, mine, or some other poor soul's. It's lost somewhere between a comedy of errors and a near-death experience, in a place that we'll refer to as the No Kidding Zone. My childhood friend, Andre, and I, we used to walk around the neighborhood at least once a week and basically find a spot to catch up at. As we got older, we had less time for one another, but we still wanted to stay in touch, so sometimes we would just meet very late at night. And one October, many years ago, we found this spot to sit down at and talk with one another. The main difference being that when we were first here, there was a little wood walkway constructed above us, and there was some black mesh up on the fences, so when we were seated here, we couldn't see out past the fences around the corners. We didn't know what was happening on the street. Now this became very important and very much a problem when out of nowhere, this one night in October many years ago, two goons rounded the corner here and just walked right up to us down this little path. One of them walked right up to us and stood right here, spun around and looked back at his other buddy who was at the corner here, and then that guy pivoted and he started keeping watch. He was blocking the end of this path. So that made us think there might be more people out on the street here that we couldn't see. We didn't know. This main goon, he starts to push in a little bit and inquire as to why we're sitting here in this shady little spot. He wants to know what we're doing. We try to avoid that question. We try to back out of that path and ask what he's doing here, but then he pushes even harder and asks if we have phones on us. It's a modern age, there's a lot going on. We can't really hide the fact that we have cell phones, so Andre silently says, yes, we do have phones, and I agree. So we take him out. Andre holds his phone up. He's got the latest and greatest iPhone. The goon grabs his phone and starts looking at it. Then he turns to me and sees my phone. The hell is this, Verizon? What the hell is this? It's a pay-as-you-go phone. It's Net 10. Pay-as-you-go phones are what I grew up on. That's all I needed to send a text or make a phone call. At least that's what my parents thought. So that's what I got, and I didn't complain. This guy was a little surprised by that, and he turns around to the other buddy who's standing guard, who spins around and says to him, I know that stuff. It's garbage, man. Just forget about it. We didn't know why he was acting antsy all of a sudden. We thought that maybe there were other people around the corner. Maybe they were waiting for someone. Andre and I were a little too petrified to try to push these guys or attack them and fight our way out. We didn't know if they had weapons. We didn't know who was around the corner. Then the main goon, he spins back around, he looks at me a little more closely, he looks down at my pants. And what's that in your other pocket right there? That'd be my wallet. Give it to me. Not taking it out had less to do with keeping it and not wanting to give it up than it did. I was petrified. I'd never been mugged before. I didn't know what the proper etiquette was when somebody asks you for your wallet. And before I could even think of a way to respond, he gets right in my face. He whips his finger right into my face, as close as it can come. And before I can even process that, and now Andre's getting nervous. Now at 2, he says to me, Daniel, just give it to him, man. Just give it to him, please. It's not worth it, man. All right. Here. Now he's got our phones and my wallet, and then he says, so I'm gonna take this stuff and you guys aren't gonna tell anyone, right? Again, we're not really sure what to do here, so we look at one another and we say yes. Yes, we're not gonna call anyone. And what's your last name? No. What's your last name? This goon saw right through Andre, knew that he was trying to think of a fake last name, something to protect his real family name. Now, unfortunately for him, the only thing he could come up with in that heat of the moment situation was a last name that sounded near identical to his. For the sake of this story, we're just gonna say Doroni. So he says Doroni. This is all giving me an opportunity to think of my fake last name because I know he's gonna turn to me next. Unfortunately, the only name that I could think of was my favorite teacher, my favorite high school teacher's last name. We're gonna call him Mr. Murphy. And what's yours? Murphy. My cousin's a cop, and if you tell anyone about this, I'm gonna know it was you. And I'm gonna find the Doronis, and I'm gonna find the Murphys, and I'm gonna kill them. Starts to walk down this path, he taps his buddy on the shoulder. It looks like they're gonna leave. They got what they wanted. Andre and I are pretty petrified, and we just stared on as both of the goons turned back around, and the main goon walks right back up to us, stares us both in the face. What the hell is wrong with you guys? Did you seriously just let that happen? We got people coming up in our neighborhood every week now. All sorts of people stealing our crap. Obviously, this construction was a front for Candid Camera. The cameras must be around here somewhere. Did we just get pranked? No one was laughing, and it seemed even less likely that was the case as he started to list off every racial slur you could possibly imagine. If this was the other way around, I would have decked me right in the head. You gotta defend the neighborhood, man. Always defend the neighborhood. And he's saying this as he's giving us our things back. He hands us both our phones. He passes his wallet back to me. And then he apologized for scaring us and ran off into the night with his other buddy. And then everything got really silent. Andre and I just stood here, and we genuinely thought that at any minute they were both going to run right back up this path and just jump on us. But no, a few minutes went by and that didn't happen. So Andre and I took off. We ran around a few extra blocks on our way home. We made it back inside, and that was it. But before the goon made tracks away that night, he left us with his name, and he said if it was ever uttered, to know that he was alive and well, and that he'd kill whole families if what he did ever was revealed. Residents of Queens, New York need not worry though, because Moose will forever be lost in the no kidding zone. My name is Moose, don't forget it.